Hello, I'm Taylor, head of product at Learn In. I want to share a few ideas, a few concepts that when we look more carefully, we can start to think about how race matters and how we think about internal mobility and employee development. First, this phrase that we want employees to own their development. If we're not careful, does that mean that underrepresented, under-resourced groups have fewer tools? Are they left on their own? What about learning on your own time? Does that lead to unequal opportunity? Learning in the flow of work, learning in context of the work that you're currently doing. Does that reinforce the status quo by teaching frontline workers how to be better at doing their frontline worker jobs, by teaching managers how to be better managers? Does it reinforce the status quo? Well, you might say we have a program to help people do programs outside of our company through tuition reimbursement. But is reimbursement cost prohibitive for people who can't pay the initial upfront costs? And if your tuition reimbursement policy is focused on four-year degrees have really low completion rates, especially for working employees from underrepresented, under-resourced communities. So how can we upskill inclusively and do it at scale? We built Learn In to help you build your internal talent. We do it by creating paths to skills through proven programs aligned to resources of time and financing, support from coaches to help people succeed in these programs, all while avoiding reimbursement with the ability to demonstrate results. Let me show you a demo of the Learn In product, how it can help you build your internal talent, develop your employees, encourage internal mobility through programs aligned to internal resources that help unblock the barriers that are currently preventing more people from being able to upskill. First, from the admin view. Here you can see Learn In has partnered with some of the best upskilling programs out there. Think boot camps, certificate programs, coaching programs. From here, you can choose which of these programs to make available. You can also add your own programs. If you have programs internally, if you have programs that aren't represented here, you can easily add those onto the platform. Next, we help you create incentives of time and financing. These are two of the biggest barriers that are preventing people from being able to upskill. So you can create incentives such as 3 hours a week for learning. You can create financing incentives. This might be your tuition assistance or tuition reimbursement policy. It might be skill-specific scholarships such as data analytics. It might be an incentive to help pay for a certificate program or giving employees the ability to have access to a Coursera license. You can see here other specific scholarships such as a DEI scholarship or a scholarship to this eCornell certificate program. And then what you can do is you have the programs, you have the incentives, and you can create initiatives which let you create relationships between incentives and programs. So here, if you have an initiative around wanting to upskill software engineers in cybersecurity, you can select programs targeted to a specific group, such as software engineers, and align certain incentives around that initiative. But maybe you want to focus on helping mobilize some of your frontline employees to move up inside the organization. You can create an initiative, mobilize customer support reps to project managers. I started building this one. I'll show you what it can look like. So I select the programs that are going to help customer support reps qualify for project management roles and projects inside the organization. I can browse all of the programs that are available inside the product. Lots of options in terms of project management, Future Learn, edX, Foundry College. ATD has a certificate program. I really like these Project Management Institute programs. I'm probably going to select this one. And Google recently came out with a new set of certificates. One is around project management. I'm going to select that one as well. So I found the programs that I want my employees to use to help qualify when it comes to project management. But just giving people access to programs is not enough. There's still the barriers. How am I going to pay for it? How am I going to make time for it? So I can select specific incentives, such as 3 hours a week. I want this to be available for this audience when they're doing one of these programs. And then I can select the financial incentives that make the most sense to encourage completion and access for these programs. This is what the product looks like from an employee's point of view. I can easily see the programs that are available to me and the resources that my company is making available in terms of the time and the financing. Here I can browse through the hundreds of programs. My company has recommended certain ones to me. So here my company has an initiative around DEI. So I can see they've selected certain DEI programs. I can look at programs by skill or across the dozens of providers that we have. If I want to do a program that is not in this list, I can add it here and request that my company help support me. In this case, I've selected this certificate program offered by edX. If I want, I can see the details of the program, the specific incentives that my company has made available specifically for this program, in this case, 3 hours a week and a DEI scholarship. As a company admin, I can see the participants, I can nominate someone for this program. So as an employee, I've selected my program. I want to see what my options are in terms of making time for this program. I can see that for this program, my company is offering 3 hours a week, which I've selected. I select this, it shows up in my plan, and then I apply for it. My company can decide whether or not there's an application process, whether that goes through a manager and or an HR admin. I can see there's other incentives available, or maybe some incentives that I don't qualify for right now based on the programs that I've selected. If I selected different programs, then I could qualify for this particular incentive. And then I can look at the financing options. In this case, I qualify for this DEI scholarship that I can apply for. There's other financing options that my company has made available that I can apply for. And there's some that aren't quite available. This looks like an eCornell DEI scholarship. So if I had selected the eCornell certificate program, this option would have been made available. As an employee, I come to my plan to help manage my progress. So I can see the program that I'm enrolled in. In this case, I've been approved for 3 hours a week. So I can easily come in here and schedule that time onto my calendar whenever I want dedicated scheduled time to focus on my program. If I've been given a financial incentive, whether that be this one to help me pay for a certificate program for the amount of $1,500. As I said, if you don't want to have to deal with reimbursements, then you can issue virtual cards through Learn In. So in this case, I've been approved up to $1,500. This card has spending restrictions. I can only use it to pay for the certificate program that I selected when I applied for this incentive. As a manager, I have the ability to approve the financial and time requests of people on my team. I can also see visibility into their progress updates, so I know how they're doing. We also have the ability to enable a coaching module, which you can see here in the right-hand column. This is to help support employees through that hard work of actually progressing through a program, learning new skills. In this case, I've been paired with my coach, Allison. Now, Allison's role is she helps me identify what are my goals for this program. I can write those goals down here. And throughout the program, I can keep track of how am I going to apply what I've been learning in my program into my work. I can create those action items here. And then Allison helps keep me accountable. I can set my preferences for how I want her to be able to do that, whether that's through, in this case, a regular email, a video call, an occasional text message. She's going to help keep me accountable and help me apply what I'm learning in my program. So at this point, we have proven programs to help employees learn new skills, the time and the financing to help support them in that program. For company admins, we give you the ability to see how these programs and how these investments are paying off for your company. We show you the activity, we show you promotions, we show you the spend across different categories, the progress of your employees who are doing programs, how this is affecting retention, the popular programs, most active employees, top departments or lines of business. Finally, we have a build versus buy analysis dashboard to help you understand the potential cost savings for building internal talent as opposed to hiring externally. In this case, if you need product management talent, you can hire product managers. We help you understand all the variables to help you understand the cost and time associated with hiring versus the cost and time associated with upskilling. So in this case, if you want to upskill project managers into product managers, we help you identify that related audience, estimate the time and cost of a program and on-the-job training so that you can see what would it take to upskill project managers versus business analysts versus any other audience inside your organization. I hope that's been helpful to see how Learn In can help you create paths for your employees to learn new skills, to qualify for new roles, and how you can create and target incentives, time, money, support so that your employees can be successful in these learning paths.